Hey guys, and welcome to Little Big Podcast. This is episode 181.
Alright guys, thanks for joining us this week on Little Big Podcast. We have lots of awesome stuff to cover, and we actually aren't going to feature any levels this week. Sorry for the bummer that all of you guys are going to be complaining about, but we have some really cool stuff to talk about that we can't technically show you. So we'll have more on that in just a bit. Daniel, what do we have?
Okay, so first up we have these Summer Games costumes. There were actually 9 of these, and they're going to be releasing. And they're basically Olympic Games costumes without having to get the copyright stuff for the Olympic Games. So there's some really cool costumes. You're seeing pictures on your screen right now of some of them, and they look absolutely amazing. Next up, we have the picks. Steve and I picked some more for this week, and they are some really good ones. And finally, we are on to the topic that you guys have been waiting for, which is the LittleBigPlanet Karting Beta.
That's right. Now, a lot of you guys are really interested on what's been going on in the beta and all that stuff. Well, we have some contact, and we are not allowed to show footage, but we are allowed to report on our findings in the beta. So, big, shocker, first thing to start off with is create mode, and we have been experimenting with that a lot. It's really different to operate in 3D. Surprisingly different, but it's not awkward.
Yeah, it keeps the mechanics that it needs to work, and honestly, I was really impressed with it. Just the way the different things worked and the way I didn't expect them to work, but they do. It's just really impressive, and they definitely threw down some solid content for the beta.
Track creation is pretty much, for those of you who have worked with Mod Nation in the past, pretty much the same idea. You know, you pave it out and then it completes it. You actually have a thermometer still, which is cool. Yeah. One side is blue, and that's for the track that you lay down. And then one side is pink for all the other stuff that you put in. So that's nice. You can lay down power-ups and jetpacks and
weapons,
all sorts of stuff. And it incorporates so many of the same things from LittleBigPlanet. Pretty much all the power-ups and stuff are within somehow LittleBigPlanet Karting. So one of the weapons is a paintinator, which is pretty cool. Another of the weapons is, I'm trying to think here.
A boxing glove, which is like an object.
One of the classic objects. And then you've got stuff like jumping over gaps. You can have a bounce pad as your ramp, or you can have a regular ramp, or in midair, if you want to have them go even further, you can have a little grapple thing, and you'll have a grapple gun that you can bring yourself across with. Just different stuff like that. The incorporation of it is just enough to kind of give it that edge of wow, okay, this is still familiar while being so different.
And one of the biggest things that I'm just catching on with is how amazing you can make the levels look. I played, I forget whose level it was, but there was just this one level that stuck out to me, incredible design. And this is day 7 of beta, right? And people are already throwing down some amazing
stuff. You can
stuff.
Obviously tell there's a little bit of a learning curve for people to learn how to, okay, so I create this in LBP, how do I transition this into 3D and a karting track? Right. But it's definitely coming across really well. I'm really happy with everything so far. The AI is actually pretty good. Yeah. I've been challenged quite a bit. One thing that we haven't had a lot of chance to, I guess, work with has been the online mode. Every time that we play a level, there's hardly anybody online. So I can't really make any comments. The loading times, I know a lot of people complain about that. The loading times are very amazing. Definitely fast. Up to par with LBP2. So if that's any indication in the beta, we can only see better results into the final release.
Another thing that I was really impressed with and happy they included was battle mode. Yes. And that was really, really good. Because to have an actual rocket that you shoot at somebody and watch their cart parts go flying everywhere, that's satisfying.
Yeah, the game I'm really happy with. And honestly, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's kind of weird that they're taking LBP and moving it to something so different. But after playing it, I really feel like it's an authentic LBP experience. I don't feel like another developer has worked on this game, but I do at the same time. As different of a direction as it's going, it's okay, this is good, but it still feels like LBP. It's not some kind of weird, okay, they did a horrible job on this. Think about a movie that's released and then they make a game for that movie and it's usually terrible. This isn't what it is. This isn't oh, here's LBP, now let's make a karting version of it and try to get more money from it. That's definitely not what this is.
And the essential feel of the game captures everything that I loved about LittleBigPlanet, only more addicting. Because this game, as LittleBigPlanet was kind of oriented around, playing and having fun, this is competition and intense. I've been trying to beat some of the high scores and stuff for different people, and it's just been a total blast. I love doing it.
Yeah, the game I feel like is running really smoothly at this point. Not a whole lot of bugs, surprisingly. A few little glitches here and there that are obviously understandable in the UI, stuff like that. But for the most part, this game's really well polished, and I'm really happy with it. So we have a lot of stuff going on with that. Technically, the game is under NDA, which means that you cannot post stuff about it, you can't talk about it, all that other stuff. So, if you get a beta code, just keep that in mind. I don't know in terms of like waves of beta codes, like when things are getting sent out. I know we just got ours, I guess 5 days ago now.
Yeah, recently.
And stuff like that. So we have EU and NA going on here.
Right. Now we do have a couple of extra beta codes, so we will be giving them some of those away. If you follow us on Twitter at LBPodcast, you'll have a couple of chances to win up there during the week. And also, we are going to be hiding some of them in the show this week. And I guess they'll just be kind of randomly placed throughout the episode.
They sure will be.
Yeah, and it might be one of those like one frame things where it just shows up and disappears really fast. It may be one of those things where it just kind of blends in with the surroundings, like a chameleon. The chameleon code. Yeah, but it's going to be really cool to see what more of you do in the beta. And also remember that if you do get into the beta is not at all representative of the final quality of the game, because of course between now and then they're going to be working nonstop polishing it. And it's not a demo either, so don't expect to just have this super polished game. There will be a couple of things. But then again, it is an amazing game. Yeah. And make sure that you report any bugs that you find to the online forums and stuff.
Right. So. And if you get into the beta, just enjoy it. Just make it a memory. Because I remember going back, LBP2 beta, some of the other betas that we've been in, it's cool to see the evolution of the game from beta stages to some of the stuff that they later incorporate into the full game. I can remember LBP2 looking at, like the Tower of Whoop, how much that's changed. Yeah. And what a bummer it was at first, but then realizing how much better it's gotten, and just different weapon. I'm trying to think, the grapple gun, you used to be able to hold X to reel yourself in, which would let you like go and like throw yourself like all the way around on top of objects and stuff, and it was so like, it was destructive, honestly. Like, you could break pretty much any level by swinging yourself out of it. So, anyway, stuff like that's going to change. And just when you get into it, have fun with it. But remember, like, a lot of it's going to change. And if you don't like something, odds are someone else doesn't like that. And that's going to change. But
make sure you give your feedback. Because if you just expect them to magically know what you're thinking, it might not get changed.
But don't rip their faces either. Because this is like, okay, test us out. Let us know what you think so far. We still have some improvements to make. So don't be like, oh, this game is awful, all this other stuff, because they're not done with it yet.
Yeah.
So in case those of you who are new to betas are kind of wondering about all that, that's what that's all about.
But then again, at the same time, with all this different things going on, the game itself is just amazing for just being in beta stages. It's incredible. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And we do have some codes to give out. I don't remember how many, but there are several codes and several opportunities to win. As of now, we only have NA codes, so if you win an NA code and you're from Europe, you can always make an NA account. So,
sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's just about it as far as karting goes. We do actually have another thing to talk about this week, which is
self-promotion.
Gymkhana 5.1, a video that me and Austin made over the past week, 4 days, yeah, something like that. It does sort of not have anything to do with But anyway, we decided to make a spoof video. If you want to check it out, that'd be really cool. Tell your friends about it, all that great stuff. Yeah. We'd love to see it go huge. Yeah, and it really is kind of essentially a shot-for-shot recreation of
recreation. Yeah, we're gonna go throw some frisbees around.
Yeah, because it's a recreation. No, it's a recreation. So make sure you kind of watch Gymkhana 5 first. That way you understand what's going on, and it's not just some random video of a kid riding a lawnmower. So yeah, that's as far as that goes, that's it. Cool. Do you have anything else you want to talk about this week?
Not really. Karting's been pretty awesome. We're gonna try to bring you guys footage of it as quick as we can.
Yeah.
Once again, it's a great looking game. Really happy with some of the stuff that I'm seeing now versus the stuff that I saw at E3. A lot of it, even since then, has improved. The textures obviously have gotten a lot better, just different stuff like that. But I really feel like the core of it is doing well. I haven't gotten a chance to try it with Move yet.
I haven't either.
I know that that's
Forgot about that.
a capability, but I haven't tried that out yet. But I imagine that it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, and again, if you win a beta code, it is under NDA, so make sure you keep that in mind and not talk about it or post footage or pictures or anything, because if you do, that's not very fun for everybody else. So anyway, yeah, I think that's it for this week, unless you have anything else.
No, that'll do.
Nothing?
Sorry
All
for
right.
a shorter episode, guys, but we hope you enjoyed the news. Check out the stuff we talked about, and we will see you later this week with a full-on normal episode. I'm Austin.
I'm Daniel.
And we will see you then.
Bye.